Hey YouTube world, it's me Evelyn, coming to you in the spirit of spooky season. So, I bought a bunch of beards, okay? Facial hair from Party City, just to drum up some sort of Halloween spirit. You know me, I'm not someone who needs a holiday to dress up. It's every day over here. It could be a Tuesday, but it would seem it's more socially acceptable to do such things during this time of year. So that's what we're gonna do in this video. I'm gonna try all these facial hairs and cobble together raggedy costumes, just low bar. The bar is low. And while I do that, I'm going to review some of the spooky movies that I've been watching lately. But before we get into some serious shenanigans, a bit of housekeeping. I was unsure of how my voting video would hit. Okay, but it hit. So thanks for sharing y'all's perspectives in the comments. The honesty is appreciated. Number 2, related to that, it's a pandemic. Okay, I know the days kind of run together. Yesterday it was March, but we are now in late October. So if you're one of those people who's registered to vote and hasn't yet, this is your internet cousin reminding you to go ahead and make a plan to vote. And when I say make a plan, I mean literally. Sit down and take the 5 to 30-ish minutes, I don't know your Googling abilities, to figure out where your polling place is. I'll leave a link to vote.org, which can help you find the deadlines in your area, the polling places in your area. Your county might even have a wait time map, which is an interactive map that shows you how long you'll be in line, depending on which polling place you're at. Figure out what that means for your schedule, if it's before work, after work, school, kids, whatever your lifestyle happens to include. You can also take that time to look up your ballot, because it's not just the president. Okay, it's not just America's Next Top Model. All right, it's a lot of other things that are on that ballot that are unique to you and your community and where you live. So if you don't want that railroad, okay, that's probably a proposition. And so remember, it's a pandemic. Voting earlier can reduce the amount of time you are in contact with other people. Not waiting until the last possible day is a good idea, if you ask me. Are we together? All right, let's get into some Halloween shenanigans. So we are going to start with this hippie mustache. Okay, it's giving you handlebar. It's giving you Burt Reynolds a little bit. Let's see what we can come up with. Okay, I got my tie-dye shirt, okay? Buc-ee's, represent. We are going to center part. Boom, center part. I have here a flower headband. It was like $1, $2. And then we have, we're giving you a little Whoopi Goldberg, but I think that's just my face. Love it. Now, for the piece de resistance. I'm having fun already. I think I need my full eyes. Is his mouth just big? Oh, it does cover your mouth. Wow. I can't breathe, to be honest. I got makeup on, so it might not stick. You know what I'm saying? I'm highly moisturized. Yeah. Go ahead and expand your mind. Why do we have to wear clothes? That's what I'm saying, man. Racism, man. That's bad, man. World peace, period. Can y'all take me seriously? I have notes, which means I'm taking myself seriously. Spooky movie number 1 is Super Dark Times. You can watch Super Dark Times on Netflix right now. It is a film from 2017, and it's set somewhere in the 90s. It is classified as a psychological thriller. Bad things happen. The genre of film is bad things happen. It's these kids, boys. It's these boys that are playing in the woods with a sword. All I'm gonna say is 4 boys went into the woods, 3 came out. Bad things happen. And instead of trying to, I don't know, fix the situation, which is dire, they leave. And so the entire movie really is the devolution. Is that a word? It's the crumbling of these children's relationships with each other, but also the crumbling of their own psyche, because bad things have happened. One of the boys is younger, okay? And he's like, listen, don't speak to me. I'm in junior high still. I'm over here in the middle school, okay? Worry about yourself. Delete, block me. The 2 other boys, who are best friends, their relationship is on the rocks. One of them is freaking out in more of a logical way and trying to get our stories straight. We need to talk to each other. We need to make sure, people don't suspect us, yada, yada, yada. The other boy, who is the reason bad things happened, is more on an emotional spiral. More bad things happen and you start to wonder if he's the one, if the adrenaline rush was if it hit a little too much and he is trying to get that rush again. Oh no. The thing that was kind of confusing about this movie though, is that you realize that whoever you were led to believe are the main characters might not be the main characters. As a girl, the girl in the film, at the end of the movie, when she's in the shower, she's not washing blood off her body. Why is that? She's not terrified or traumatized. The movie ends with the teacher asking, what was the women's role in the Industrial Revolution? And she raises her hand. And you're like, hold up. Was that supposed to signify that she had a role in all of this? I'm gonna give it a 3.75 out of 5. I was thrilled, but I was also a bit too confused at the end to really enjoy the experience. All right, next costume. All right, our next facial hair is this Suave set. I think what I'm gonna do is, you'll see. We got the purple hat. Gotta have your chain. Your chain-a-lay. I don't know who I'm trying to be. I already had this shirt as a prop. So that's why. It really drove the theme of this costume. You know what I'm saying? My neck stay on froze. Shout out to the internet cousin who gave me this ring at my Nairobi, Kenya meetup. That feels like a decade ago. Holla back, Jack. Yeah. Y'all wasn't gonna tell me my mustache crooked? Taco meats. Let's do it. I'm very much giving you Dolomite is my name. I'm very much giving you Soul Plane. Yeah, I did a good thing. This was a good idea. Movie number 2 is I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. It's currently on Netflix. It was made in 2016. Slow burn doesn't even begin to describe this film. Wikipedia calls it a gothic supernatural horror film. So basically, this movie is about Lily, and Lily is a live-in nurse for this critically acclaimed horror writer, Iris Blum. Miss Iris is quite elderly at this point. You can infer that she has dementia of some sort, Alzheimer's of some sort. She needs someone to live in her house, her estate, and take care of her. So the narration starts and Lily tells us what's gonna happen already. We don't know how, but we know what's gonna happen because she says, my name is Lily, I am 28 years old. I will never become 29 years old. So we're like, oh hell, Miss Lily don't look 28. It's okay though. It's okay. I'll suspend disbelief. This movie is slow. It really watches like a poem. And I don't know if I mean that in a good way. Lily is also kind of a weirdo. I mean, if I can make that judgment. Oh, now I see why y'all don't be doing that. I don't like that. Basically, some supernatural stuff starts going down. We learn that there was actually a death that occurred in this house in the olden days. I'm gonna say colonial days. The woman's name is Polly. Iris Blum, the author, her most famous book is called Lady in the Walls. And it's presented as fiction, but it's not fiction. Polly is the lady in the walls. Now Iris is kind of hurt because we come to know that Polly, the ghost, ghosted her. Kind of disappeared. And she hasn't shown up again in this woman's house and in her life until now when the nurse is here. Now here's the thing, and this is a spoiler. Lily dies of shock, of like a heart attack, when she finally, at the end of the movie, sees the ghost. She dies of a heart attack because Polly was like, you know what I'm saying? Lily becomes a ghost in the house and she's just roaming. That's the most unbelievable thing in the whole movie, because it was me. Because if it was me, baby, we're fighting. I'm in your plane of existence, Polly. Run up, get absolutely done up. And you want me to live in this same haunt? You want me to co-haunt? We're not co-haunting. I'm the ghost of this house now. I give I Am the Pretty Thing Who Lives in the House a 3 out of 5. Maybe even a 2.75 out of 5. Next, we have the Musketeer set. I'll be back. Okay, we got a black turtleneck. We got a beret. Emily in Paris who? Evelyn in Paris. Oh, this is... What? This is... I'm really giving you V for Vendetta. Ciao. Okay, this is too much trouble. Our next film is The Killing of a Sacred Deer, and it's a 2017 film that you can watch on Netflix now. It stars Colin Farrell, okay? Nicole Kidman, heavy hitters. This movie, disturbing. I was disturbed. Whereas I'm the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House was a slow burn and you start to not care. The Killing of a Sacred Deer is a slow burn that enrages you, because people aren't asking the sort of questions that you would ask if that was you in that situation. First and foremostly, I would like to point out it's an A24 film, okay? So you know it's weird. Colin Farrell is a surgeon, okay? And he's spending time with this teenage boy. And you think he's spending time with him as like a mentor type situation, but then you learn, and this is a spoiler, kind of, this teenage boy's father died on Colin Farrell's operating table. So the dynamic is different. The teenage boy somehow is killing Colin Farrell's family. And I'm like, how is this happening? And so now the teenage boy is like, hey, Colin Farrell, your family's going to get sick. And here are the symptoms. They're going to stop the use of their legs. They're going to lose their appetite to the point of starvation. They are going to bleed from their eyes, one by one by one, unless you choose which one to kill. Now, the thing of it is, I don't understand how this teenage boy is killing these people or poisoning these people. Is it poison? Is it magic? We never learn how he's killing them. The boy was just like, I don't know, this is the closest thing to justice I can think of. And he said it just like that. I have to talk about the tone, like the cadence of the dialogue. It's very dry and it adds to the unsettlingness of what's going on, because it almost feels like they're not even in our world because they don't speak the way we speak. Father, I am willing to live for you and I am willing to die for you. Please kill me now. I would love to give my life up for you. That's how she's talking. Nicole Kidman is like, we can have more kids. Oh, you cold-blooded. I don't know about you, but I'm not killing my own children. Talk about we can have more kids. I can have kids with whomever. Colin Farrell does choose which family member to kill. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I give it 3.75 out of 5. Very much close to a 4. I wish I knew why anything was happening. All right. Oh. You do see Colin Farrell's butt. Okay, we got a striped shirt on. We got some gold hoops on. I got my red bandana because the beard we are wearing now is this plush beard and mustache combo. So we're gonna be a pirate, yeah? Are we a pirate? Arr. Pirates have jewelry. Okay, put the ring back on. Swashbuckling. I don't know what that means. Oh, there's like a string. Does your mouth go here? Yes! Come on, come through, hoops. I got these in Bermuda, okay? Arr. Arr. Our next film is In the Tall Grass. You can watch it on Netflix. It is based on a short story or novella by Stephen King and his son, Joe Hill. Out of all the movies, this is the most, you know what I mean? It's the most like, woo. So the movie starts off, we're in the car with two siblings, a brother and a sister, on a road trip. I will say it took me a while to understand they were siblings, which I find problematic. So basically this film is a horror thriller rooted in many different concepts. The scariest of which is the fact that you find yourself in a time loop, okay? So the siblings are on a road trip, they make a stop, they're by this tall grass, which is like everywhere, it surrounds everything, and they hear a child. Mistake number one. Me, myself, I'm ignoring it. I'm gonna send some help, honey. Stay put. Now, the sister is pregnant, very much so. Like, she's finna have this baby. So maybe that's why she stops and wants to save the child. Me, myself, we not doing that. This kid is like, help, I'm in the tall grass. I can't find where the road is. She's like, just follow my voice. You hear a woman who's also in the grass. His mom is like, don't go outside of the grass. Don't say anything. Don't move, which of course alarms the pregnant girl. Who would say stay in the grass? This is ridiculous. And so she's kind of alarmed. She's like, are you with adults? Like, who is that in there with you? And anyway, she go in the grass. If Tobin's voice is over here and they walk this way, the next time they say, okay, Tobin, where you at? Tobin's voice is over there. Make it make sense. So they see Tobin. Tobin is covered in mud, traumatized. He looked like trauma. He's talking this and that about how the grass doesn't move dead things, only living things. Excuse me? Bad things happen, okay? And then the girl's baby daddy comes to find them. We also realize that the siblings have been missing for 2 months. That's why the baby daddy is coming to try and get some sort of answers. Where did they disappear to? And this is where you realize that we're in a time loop. Through magical things in the movie, you realize that Tobin, the little boy, has already met baby daddy. Baby daddy is the reason why the little boy and his family entered the grass in the first place. Because they heard a man saying he needed help. There's an ancient rock with energies, and Tobin's dad is convinced that if you touch the rock, you'll find your way out, okay? But that's false, okay? He a demon now. This movie has ancient chants. It has hoo-ha-ha, okay? It has grass creatures. It's giving you Groot's older, scarier cousins. Someone eats a baby, okay? I'm not going to go much further than that, but like I said, bad things happen. Even though it had the most scariness and like scary things happening, it kind of dragged on. And when I learned after the fact that it's a film adapted from a short story, I'm like, oh, it's not even a book. They definitely like strung some parts out, you know what I'm saying? It could have been a short film and it would have been very like scary and impactful. But there are a couple moments where I kind of checked out because I'm like, oh, grass creatures? Oh, I don't even know. What are we doing here? I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. Whew. Last movie. Turtleneck is back, okay? Chain is back. Our last facial hair is the chin strap beard. Oh, it got a hairnet on it. It's not really giving me poppy as much as like hood god. And you know they gotta look intellectual. Vampires vs. the Bronx is a new film. It came out in 2020 and you can watch it on Netflix. It is a horror comedy and it's rated PG-13. I would consider it a family film. Basically, this film is about some vampires that are gentrifying the Bronx, literally. And the kids who are onto them, because nobody thinks it's obviously that it's actual vampires. They just think it's regular gentrification. But these cute, adorable teens, they're like, no, these is vampires, and we're going to save our community. Marrow is in it, the kid Marrow from Jesus and Marrow. He is the bodega shop owner. Loved him in that. It is difficult to make vampires and flying not corny. Any bits that are kind of corny is because of that. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, what is that? I thought the film was great. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. It lifted my mood. I had a better evening. You know when you can tell somebody writes slang in the dialogue, but they don't actually use that slang in their real life or know anybody who talks like that. I thought it was very well written in terms of keeping things authentic. Similar to how I felt about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, how the dialogue was very realistic. It was very natural and fluid and up with the times without feeling like someone who says up with the times. I loved watching the kids go through their shenanigans and working to get the adults on board, because the adults are like, what is you talking about? First of all, you grounded. I will say, this movie has managed to do the impossible, to do the unthinkable. There are two, count them, two dark-skinned girls under the age of 30 in this film that are main characters, you know, recurring characters throughout the film. They're not somebody's mom. It's not somebody's therapist. Okay, they're not 45. Girls. Coco Jones is in this film, and she is the main girl who finally believes these boys. Like, there's a main boy who's like, no, this is happening. And so she ends up being part of their crew to fight the bad guys. And when the little boy, who has a crush on her, when the main little boy was like, how come you believe me? She was like, child, I'm Haitian, okay? I've been preparing for this my whole life. Let's go, okay? You're gonna need a little bit of water, a cross. Then there's also this girl, and I forget her name in the film, and she is the pulse of the community. She's always on IG Live or she's streaming live all the time. Okay, she's that girl. She's like, hey, we live and direct, we're on the scene. She's popping. So that's an aspect of the film that made it even more enjoyable to watch. I thought it was funny. There were parts that made me actually laugh, like tee-hee. I thought it was super cute. There are a couple moments where they kind of lean into the gentrification thing. I know you've been told that you don't matter, that your lives don't matter. It's like, we get it. Oh, how could I forget? Method Man is a priest, is the community priest. You know what I'm saying? I would show up to mass. I would show up to mass if Method Man was my priest. Actually, am I giving you Method Man? Lovely film. I give it a 5 out of 5. Keep in mind that it's a family film. It's a kids-ish movie. It's a 5 out of 5 for me. Oh. This has been fun. It's time to say farewell. Thanks so much for watching. In the comments below, let me know what scary movies you've been watching these days, and I will see you on the internet somewhere.